All right, Intro to Calc. This is your review sheet for your quiz coming up soon. So we're going to take a look at as many as we can in the next several minutes. So first question, we're looking for the limit as x approaches 4. So if I'm looking for the limit as x approaches 4, what I first do, especially if I have a fraction, is see if the bottom will go to 0 or if anything weird happens. And nothing happens really when x approaches 4, so I'm just going to simply plug it in. So this limit is going to be 5 times 4 minus 2 over 9, and that's going to be 18 over 9, which is equal to 2. And really that's all I have to do. In question number 2, I'm taking the limit as x goes to 8, or x goes to negative 8 of the square root of 7. Well, the square root of 7 is a constant. It has no x variable, so as x approaches negative 8, this thing maintains its value, square root of 7. Number 3, again with number 3, when you're dealing with a fraction, you have to worry about the denominator, and in this case, as x goes to 3, the denominator does go to 0. All right. Now, if the numerator goes anyplace else but 0, then this is going to be D and E. But if the numerator goes to 0, then I can continue. So I let x go to 3. This becomes 9, so this term becomes 27. Then 27 minus 15 is 12, and 12 minus 12 is 0. So I get 0 over 0. That means that this can be found. So it's the limit as x goes to 3. Remember, guys, it makes it a lot easier if you always look at this as the reason why, and this is the binomial, this is the reason why the bottom goes to 0 when x goes to 3 is the same reason the top is going to go to 0. And if you can remember that, then you automatically know what one factor of 3x squared minus 5x minus 12 is. Knowing that that's a factor, it makes the second factor easy to find, because I need to get 3x squared out. This has to be a 3x. I need to get a minus sign, and this is already minus, so this has to be a plus. And I need factors of 12 where one's 3, well, the other one has to be 4. And then these will cancel. And now I can evaluate. I just take the 3 and plug it in, because now I can. This becomes 3 times 3, which is 9, plus 4. I'm going to get 13 as an answer. Okay? So that's your first 3. Moving on. Here we go. We got as x goes to 5, the limit as x goes to 5. I plug it into the bottom and I get 0. I plug it into the top and look what happens. I get 25 minus 9, that's 16. So if you ever get a number over 0, this can't be done any further. The answer is D and E. It's undefined. Number 5 we did in class. Okay, so I can quickly redo it again just so you guys can see it. If I'm looking for vertical asymptotes or I'm looking for holes, the only place vertical asymptotes or holes can happen is when the denominator becomes 0. We're looking for when the fraction becomes undefined. So I can factor this, and I can find the 2 places where the denominator becomes 0. And then what I do is I create the limits when those denominators become 0. So the first limit I create is the limit as x approaches 6, and the next one is the limit as x approaches negative 6. And then I'm going to create my fraction, but I'm going to factor everything I can. I can factor 5 at the top, leaving me with x minus 6. The bottom I already factored into x plus 6, oops, and x minus 6. Over here, same thing, top, 5 times x minus 6, and the bottom, x plus 6, x minus 6. So really you're just kind of carrying all that over. The reason why we do that is because by definition, once I cross things out, if I can evaluate the limit, then I have what's called a hole. If I can't evaluate the limit, in other words, the limit still is D and E, then I have a vertical asymptote. So this one becomes 5 over x plus 6. I can take the 6 and plug it in, and I get 12, so this is going to have a value of 5/12, and I'll summarize that in a second. This one, as x approaches negative 6, again, these 2 will cross out. I get 0. I get 5 over 0. Well, this one is D and E. And the one that's D and E tells you by definition that the number that you're approaching, x equals negative 6, is a vertical asymptote. Okay? So that's a vertical asymptote because After you canceled, you couldn't do anything else with it. You still got D and E. Number 1, though, as x approaches 6, you get 5/12. So 6 is the x coordinate, and 5/12 is the y coordinate of a hole in the graph of f of x. Okay, so that's what's happening there. All right, question number 6, and I'll stop this video after 6. We did this one as well in class. This one says find the equation of a line tangent to the curve at this point. Well, the one thing that I wanted you guys to do right from the very beginning is, as soon as you know something about your answer, please write it down. If I'm going to come up with the equation of a line tangent to the curve at this point, I know that y minus my y value, which is 9, is equal to m times x minus the x value, which is 2. This is going to be the equation. I just need to know what m is. So I have to find out what m is. So here's the formula for m. M is going to be the limit as x approaches a, f of x minus f of a, again, the change in y's, over x minus a, your change in x's. So let's plug this in. It's the limit as x approaches the x coordinate, 2. F of x is 2x cubed minus 5x plus 3 minus f of a, or f of 2. Well, f of 2 is right here, that's 9, over x minus 2. Okay, so now this is going to become, simplifying, I got 2x cubed minus 5x plus 3 minus 9 is really a minus 6, right? That's a minus 6 over x minus 2. All right, if you plug in, this is as x approaches 2. If I plug in 2, I'm going to get 16 minus 10 minus 6. I'm going to get 0 over 0, which is what I'm supposed to get. So that's your first check. Okay? But remember, I need to evaluate this. So for the same reason the bottom goes to 0, the top is also going to go to 0. And now what I have to do is I have to find out what polynomial, what's in here. And the way I do that, if it's an x cubed, is I have to synthetically divide. So I'm going to, where should I do it? I'll do it here, I guess. I'm going to synthetically divide by 2. My coefficients are 2x cubed, 0x squared, minus 5x, minus 6. Right? And I need to get 0 out. I have to get 0 out. So here we go. Drop the 2 down. 2 times 2 is 4. 0 and 4 is 4. 2 times 4 is 8. Negative 5 and 8 is a positive 3. 2 times 3 is 6. And negative 6 and 6 is 0. It's perfect. So now this is the coefficients of a polynomial that's depressed. If it was an x cubed, now it's an x squared. So it's 2x squared plus 4x plus 3. These two cancel. Then I let x go to 2. I have 2 squared, which is 4, plus 2 is 8. I plug in 2 here. I get 4 times 2 is 8, and then plus 3. I get 16 plus 3 is 19. And remember, that's m. So that goes here. So I get y minus 9 is equal to, I'm going to distribute the 19 through, 19x minus 38. I'm going to add 9 to both. And I get y is equal to 19x. If I add 9 to 38, I get minus 29. And that is the equation of a line tangent to the curve. Lots of stuff going on there, guys. You're going to have to know those formulas.